Coming off of a year where the Celtics were knocking on the NBA Finals' doorstep, most people expected them to be at the very least a top 4 or 5 seed out east in 2021. Instead, they finished the year at 500 with the 7th seed out east. And their disappointing season led to the expectation they were going to make some big-time moves this offseason. Instead, Danny Ainge stepped down, and filling his place was Brad Stevens. They then hired Ime Udoka to be their new head coach, and the moment that happened, expectations and rumors went everywhere regarding the Celtics. Then the first move Brad Stevens made was sending Kemba Walker to OKC for a familiar face to the city of Boston, Al Horford. When they did that, they moved on from Kemba Walker to get a player in Horford who's still pretty good. Sure, he's getting paid more than what he can provide, but after this season, his contract is non-guaranteed. And really for the Celtics, despite the expectations, this offseason was Brad Stevens' way of cleaning up some of the mess that Danny Ainge left. The contracts, the way the team is designed, fixing all of that this offseason in a summer where there aren't too many good free agents allows them next offseason to have more flexibility to make big time moves to get back to where they once were. Newsflash, but the Celtics have Jayson, Tatum, and Jaylen Brown, and in the last 4 years, the 2 times they've been closest to the finals is when those 2 guys have been leading them with a cast around the 2 of them who elevates them. In 2018, the Celtics were a game away from the NBA Finals when Jayson Tatum was a rookie in the NBA. Meanwhile, Jaylen Brown was just in his 2nd season. The next year when Kyrie Irving came back, all hell broke loose. But after Kyrie left, even with Kemba being hurt, the Celtics yet again got back to where they once were in 2018, being so close to the NBA Finals. Then this past season, after knee surgery, Kemba Walker continued to play poorly, and the team overall did not complement their 2 budding stars the way it should have. So now everybody's saying this team needs to trade for Bradley Beal. In fact, I've seen some people say, in my mind, Bradley Beal is already a Celtic, which I'm gonna be the first one to tell you, that is ridiculous. Bradley Beal could help this team, but it's not what this team needs. I said it. I know a lot of Celtics fans may not like that, but it's the hard truth. And for the Celtics, haven't they already went down this path before? Kyrie Irving ring a bell? Kemba Walker, where did that lead them? So if you haven't clicked off the video yet in anger, you're probably asking yourself, what are you trying to get at here? The point I'm trying to make is with Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown, the Celtics don't need another big time scorer at one of the guard spots. Rather, they need somebody who could complement the 2 of them. A pass first guard who can play make, yet is a big enough threat offensively to create for himself, while not being a total liability on the defensive end. And they just brought in Dennis Schroder, who I'll get to in a minute, but unlike the way Schroder was in 2021, this player would also need to play off of the ball and knock down shots at a consistent rate. That type of mold is what the Celtics need. And the first player that comes to mind is one of Jaylen Brown's closest friends, Malcolm Brogdon. Brogdon, on top of being all those things, is a great leader, which is something the Celtics certainly lacked in 2021. Hey Siri, what's Malcolm Brogdon's age? I'm sorry if that turned on Siri on your phone, but I had to. Malcolm Brogdon is 28 years old. He's fully developed in the prime of his career, and offensively, he can do so many things for the Celtics and would be the perfect number 3 next to Tatum and Brown. He's a switchable defender, and above all those things, is there a better fit for the Boston Celtics? Truthfully, bringing in Malcolm Brogdon would make a more positive impact than them bringing in Bradley Beal. And the Pacers have already shopped around Malcolm Brogdon. Now, sure, that was for Ben Simmons, and I get it. That was for a player who they thought could elevate their ceiling, but that's the whole point. If the Celtics have a trade package which the Pacers believe can elevate their ceiling as a team, if they underperform this year in 2021, why wouldn't they take it next offseason? The Celtics have young players, picks, and now cap space to make a deal work. That's what I think the Celtics should do, but I'm an 18-year-old kid, so if you couldn't tell, I don't run the Celtics. But the good news is for the Celtics, I think that's what their plan is. After coaching this team for years, Brad Stevens knows what it needs most. So with their biggest drop-off last year being their defense, they brought in Dennis Schroder, Josh Richardson, Chris Dunn, who if he stays healthy can make a huge impact, and Al Horford. Say what you want about all 4 of those guys, but that's much better defensively than Kemba Walker, Evan Fournier, and so on. Though for the Celtics, despite having little cap space this offseason, they've done a great job at addressing that need. The other thing they really needed was leadership. So when they were searching for their next head coach, they hired Ime Udoka, and while I thought Steve Clifford would be a good fit for this team, I like the Udoka hiring big time. He is the leader they need in their locker room. Somebody that'll have the respect of his players and knows how to coach. But on top of that, they brought back Al Horford and Enes Kanter. Now in terms of production, Kanter isn't going to make a big time impact, but the 2 of them are great veterans to bring back into the locker room. And for Al Horford, not only is he a great leader, but offensively, he's a good fit with Tatum and Brown in the half court, as he showed in their 2018 playoff run. So for the Celtics, their plan wasn't this offseason to get that big time star name. And moving forward, I don't think searching for for another star like Bradley Beal will be the solution to their problems. Actually, no, it won't be the solution. Not that Bradley Beal will make them worse, but Bradley is not what the Celtics need most. And if you're asking what they do need most, look at their track record. Look at what got this team to their furthest point. And that's why I like the young guys on this team, Peyton Pritchard, Robert Williams, and even guys people were less sure about last year like Romeo Langford and Aaron Nesmith. With an actual summer league this year and a full regular season, those guys will continue to get better. And that internal improvement, along with the Celtics having a more clear vision as to what this team actually needs, is why this team has a very bright future. And with that being said, I have one more thought. Let's pause the brakes a little bit on Bradley Beal to Boston.